obviously let me know. But my list is long and growing by the daily. So, speaking of that, I wanted to wrap up kind of the transition between New Year's with what I will be implementing, habits that I will be implementing in 2026. I am a big advocate for transitioning from one thing to another, whether it's a new year or a new job or a new hobby or a new anything. Kind of setting your expectations in the very beginning so that you have a basis to kind of go off of. And the beautiful thing about life is it is ever changing, and the only thing we are guaranteed is that the sun will set and rise. So if all of this falls, if I fall off the wagon with all of this, then I fall off the wagon. I'm not someone who holds like my worthiness in routines and breaking them or not breaking them. So I guess that's why I enjoy it so much, is they're obviously, they're goals more than anything. And so I have a few habits that I will be trying to implement for 2026, and I thought it'd be fun if we lay them out in the beginning of January, and then we do kind of like a monthly check-in, because these may last a month, they may last a week, or they may last the whole year. So I have my list right in front of me, and I thought we'd go over all of them, and maybe they give you some ideas, or maybe you're just nosy like me and want to know what other people are doing. So either way, I thought it would be fun. So, oh god, I keep doing that. Let's talk about number one, which is I want to average, I don't know how to say this correctly, but I want to average 10, listen to that plane, that's funny. I want to average 10,000 steps a day. Now, the moment that I said, oh, I want to do this, it then rained literally from the 1st until the 5th, like downpoured. So there was no way I could get outside, and I unfortunately do not have a treadmill. So I don't even think I got close to 10,000. I think one of the days I was at like 3,000 steps. So I obviously am giving myself a lot of grace with this one. But my goal is that once the weather clears, and that's why I want to average 10,000, not every day. Obviously, am I able to do 10,000 steps a day? However, my goal really mainly is just to get outside and to really move my body. Last year, I had just had a baby, and we didn't go outside as much as I think it would have helped. We were just inside a lot more. So next year, or this year, I really want to work on being outside. The year prior, so in 2024, I was working a pretty intense job that had me behind the desk for 10 to 13 hours a day, and if I wasn't behind the desk, I was in the field, and those were like 18-hour days. It was crazy. But I also was pregnant, and so any free time I had, I was on the couch or in my bed sleeping. So I really think it's important for me to prioritize movement this year. And so what that means for me is going outside, going to the park, taking my son, on walks, which we've been doing a really good job about. Okay, I'm gonna turn the cane down because our neighborhood rooster is just going crazy right now, and you can really hear him. Sorry to bring attention to it, but it's too funny. Okay, so that is my very first habit that I'm going to try to implement this year. Okay, what I will do right now is tell you guys, let's go to my, what is it? I think it's health, yes, on my phone. Okay, so yesterday I had 12,463 steps. On the day before, I had 15,816 steps, and then the day before that, I had 3,000. So clearly, I am working on it today. I think I only have 17 will definitely be prioritizing that throughout the rest of the day. Okay. That is my first habit I'm going to be implementing. Now, my second habit that I want to implement is doing a no spend week each month. Just one no spend week each month. This stemmed from last year when we went from 2 incomes to 1 income and I decided to be a stay-at-home mom. We did no spend from June until December when I had to purchase Christmas presents for everybody. That was incredibly difficult, obviously. Going from 2 incomes to no spend, 2 incomes and a very loose budget to a no spend is brutal, but it was what had to be done, so I made it a little bit easier. So, I think my husband and I both agreed that we really liked it. It was just a good, it was a good check-in, you know. You can get really loose with your money sometimes, or not you, but one can get very loose with the money sometimes, and we were absolutely in that mindset where we just kind of spent and didn't really think too much about it. And you waste a lot of money doing that. It was so disturbing to see how much we were spending on fast food or subscriptions we didn't even use anymore. So it was really, really helpful to look into your spending and just say, hey, 1 week a month. 1 week is nothing. 1 week a month the goal is to literally just pay bills. Like, there's nothing else. Like the bare minimum. We just pay a bill and we spend, no money on food, on any sort of going out to eat, no money on clothing items. And the benefit is, overall, I fully understand the luxury we're in that I can be a stay-at-home mom and we make enough money to where we have the luxuries of being able to enjoy more than just pay the bills. But it is always a good check-in, that there needs to be some accountability when it comes to money. And I really like the 1 week a month doing a no spend. It really is not that difficult. And who knows? Well, I'll backtrack. We agreed that January, the whole month, is going to be a no spend for us, just to recuperate after the holidays, because we always go so crazy. And then we hit January, and this is the first January I'm not working. And usually in my old job, the winter months were our busiest months, so that's when I had the most amount of overtime, so we could recuperate pretty well. But obviously this year that's not applicable, and the winter months are his slowest months. So unfortunately, it just didn't work out, the easiest for us, which is totally fine this year. But it is good practice that we start the year off with a no spend, which we don't need anything anyway. Now, this no spend idea kind of bleeds into my next one, which is thrift first, buy second. So, I have decided for the entire year of 2026, I'm not going to purchase anything brand new for myself. There is no reason for it. I have everything I could have ever needed, and anything I want, I find at the thrift. And it is a good practice for me to be disciplined, not to go out and just instant gratification purchase things. I love Gap. I'm a big Gap girly. There's so many different brands that I really love. But it is incredibly important that I prioritize finding things secondhand. I already do this, but I'm going to be incredibly hard on myself about not purchasing anything brand new. There's literally no need, so that he's growing out of things that, we gotta buy more of. So he is not a part of this, but for myself, I'm doing a no buy brand new. So, but I'm a thrifter, so it's okay. Okay, so that takes care of 10,000 steps, no spend for a week, and thrift first, buy second. My fourth one kind of goes back to all of this, which is I'm going to do an ROI on everything I purchase. So, an ROI, a return on investment. I was thinking about this because in 2025 I purchased a purse and I needed it and bought it secondhand, but it was not a cheap purse. It was a Claire V messenger bag, the big size, not the petite. So it was pretty pricey, even used. It was cheaper. It was a couple $100 cheaper than brand new. However, nonetheless, still very expensive. So I thought, I found the look that I really wanted, and then I went on eBay and I just kept checking and looking for it, and it took me a while to find it at a decent price. So, and then it took me a while to be able to pull the trigger, and what made me pull the trigger was thinking about my ROI. I use a purse every single day. I needed to find one that worked for me and my son in our new setup. The one I had did not. I thought to myself, I need to invest in a good bag that's going to work for everyday use, that will fit me and what I need and what my son needs every single day. I have been, since purchasing it, 5 months ago or 6 months ago, I've used it every single day. That is a good ROI. If I purchase something, I expect to use it more days than the amount I spent on it. So, if I spent $200 on a purse, I expect to use it for more than 200 days. Now, if I can't turn around and say that, then I need to not be buying things. I don't really have another example. That's like the first one that came to my mind, but I need to start doing that in everything I buy. Another example, actually, it just came to me. Middle of last year, my husband and I invested in new bedding. Obviously, we sleep in our bed every single night, and we were bootlegging it with the bedding that we had. And so I said, you know what, we're going to invest in good bedding because we sleep in our bed every single night. That is something we need to just invest once in and then ride it out for a couple of years before, I don't know how often you're supposed to repurchase bedding, but we do it every couple of years. So I went to Banana Republic, which they had a home section a while ago, and I guess they brought all the stuff, their inventory back, and they did some massive sale. It was like 80% off. It was unbelievable. And I bought all new bedding, and it was not cheap. It was a couple $100, but I got us new bedding, and we love it. And it's like, why do I get so hung up on purchases like that have great ROI? But for whatever reason, I don't know why I get messed up over it. Anyway, I'm gonna start doing that with almost everything. Like this sweater, Old Navy, got it thrifted for a couple of bucks. I wear it often. It's huge. It's really comfortable. That's worth it. Half my closet, I only wear the things once or twice, and it's like, that's not worth the investment if I only wear it once or twice. So, it's almost like transitioning to a minimalist mindset, but I'm not a minimalist. I mean, I guess I kind of am. I don't know. Anyway, so that is, I believe, 4th or 5th on my list. Now, other habits, a few other, just like sprinkling in. One is journaling and planning on my Hobonichi. I clearly am so desperate for hobbies because I am so in love with this one. I don't know why I've never journaled before. Maybe I just didn't feel like I had the time. But every night, literally every night, my son goes to bed. I put my son to bed and I go out and I clean that. I do a quick 20-minute clean just system. But that is another thing that I'm going to work on in 2026 as a habit. Then I have two more. First of the two, reading / audiobook. More audiobooks than reading. I can sometimes I listen to something constantly. I like, me and my son, he doesn't respond, but I talk to him all day. And then when I'm not talking to him, I'm either listening to a podcast, podcast is kind of where my head's at right now. The world is very gloomy right now, and it's very difficult not to get bogged down in it if you listen to the news every single day or in some capacity. And so I have really enjoyed listening to audiobooks. It has taken my head out of, the very doomsday-ness of the world. So I need to continue reading. I need it not to be a habit that I just do for a little bit and then move on. I need to stay consistent. So that is really something that I want to focus on this year, of implementing other sources of media besides the news and podcasts and what's going on in the world. I need to consume something besides that. So I'm really going to work on continuing my reading journey. Plus there are a million books out there that I have such bad FOMO that I've been missing out on, that now I get to catch up with, which is a lot of fun. The other one that kind of bleeds into that, but it's the second time. I don't think I've ever said that phrase before, but for whatever reason I say it twice in one video. That's funny. The second one is movies / TV shows. I am horrible about watching movies. I just am. I need to watch movies this year. I need to watch movies, and I need to finish TV shows. Series. My husband and I are currently watching Game of Thrones. I think we're only on episode 6 because they're an hour long, and they are very intense. I can only watch one a night. I really like it. Typically, I don't do fantasy or anything like that. Like the dragons, I'm not into that at all. But I'm liking this so far. It is incredibly heavy and disturbing and mind-boggling sometimes. But if you talk to... Oh, shoot. I wonder if that messed that up. If you talk to anybody, they always say that, that Game of Thrones is on their top series list. So we're gonna knock that out. I watched a majority of The Sopranos before we kind of let it peter out again, but I should sit down and watch the whole Sopranos series. And then there's a couple of movies that I should watch just to be a little bit more cultured than I am. So I'm going to focus on other forms of media besides news, podcasts, things of that nature this year in 2026. And I'm excited because I can come on here and talk to you guys about it. Or, it gives us something to talk about at the end of the month. What movies I've watched, what books I've read, things like that. Oh, that I guess is my last one. I would like to continue posting on YouTube ASMR content. I'm really enjoying it. It's nice to have an outlet to talk to someone or some people just about things that I care